Ladies and gentlemen, Lil Xan. It's a very, very intimate room right now.
Very intimate. I love it. I love it.
First and foremost, welcome to Sacramento. Thank you for having me. Sushi, by the way. I meant to meet you in the hallway, but then we kind of got pushed out because there was a lot of entourage in the hall.
Nah, you good. You good. It's quite a bit, right?
Right. So, first and foremost, you are a very interesting person, sir. I was listening to a lot of your joints over the past week or so because I'm trying to get caught up. I'm still kind of learning a lot about the music that's coming out right now. And as I was looking up, for one, Betrayal is the big single.
Yeah, definitely.
And which led me into listening to Slingshot. And it's interesting that your name is Lil Xan, but both of these songs, in Slingshot you say I don't do Xans, and in Betrayal it's like almost denouncing Xanax.
Yeah, Betrayed is definitely the anti-Xan national anthem. I call it.
Oh, so what compelled you to keep the name if that's the case?
The name was just doing really well, so it's why would I mess up the formula if it's going so well?
Right. So how did the name Lil Xan come about? I mean, I feel like it's fairly obvious and kind of set in stone.
2 years ago, back in South by Southwest in Texas, I was just painfully addicted to Xanax. And one of my friends, we walked into a liquor store, and he was like, "I'm just gonna call you Lil Xan because it used to be Baby NyQuil, and that's a pretty sad name."
Baby NyQuil is actually kind of catchy though.
Yo, it is for some maybe something else
You were definitely gonna catch a court case for having NyQuil
Baby
in your name
NyQuil,
though.
right? Yeah.
Have you ever thought about changing your name? Was there ever a time where you thought about changing it when you decided to stop doing?
No, definitely. There's been times where I've thought about changing it. So many in the early stages, I was like, well, I need to change it to this, maybe my real name. But the only thing I might change down the road is dropping the Lil.
Well, and the name Diego actually works out quite well too. Yeah. That would actually be a good name
might
to run
be
with.
for the future.
It's when you get to that point where it's like Lil Wayne drops the Lil and just goes Wayne.
Wayne, that'd be hard. But yeah, I'll drop the Lil.
Another question I wanted to ask you is, what was it that made you decide to stop? Because you said you were painfully addicted to it.
Yeah.
So what was it that was the turning point for you?
Well, like I tell a lot of people and a lot of kids, you have to want to stop yourself. That's what addiction is. You have to want it yourself in order to stop. Because addiction is horrible. You stop for a little bit, you think you're doing good, and then it comes back into play, and so you have to want it. So it was just a mental decision, and I just chose to not do it anymore.
And it's interesting kind of seeing how your music has kind of changed even through that process a little bit too, because you're a lot more audible now and it's easier.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because and that was kind of the thing that me asking you about your name change was an interesting point for me, because when I decided to look you up, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was like, Lil Xan, I'm gonna listen to this dude that I can't understand a word he's saying.
Horrible mumble rapper, right?
Right, but you're not that. It's really interesting that you have a name like Lil Xan, which is obviously popular in the scene that is mumble rap.
Yeah.
But that's not your style at all.
Nah. Definitely not my style.
But you have production that fits that, and then you rap over it.
Yeah, some of my older stuff definitely could fall into that category. But, this new album that's coming out soon is going to be, you could totally understand everything. It shows, a level of maturity and evolution in my music.
And so you got a new album coming out.
Yeah, Total Xanarchy.
And when is this supposed to be dropping?
St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. I think, yeah.
You got that? March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. This is official announcement right there, too.
Yeah.
One thing that I also wanted to get into is listening to your music and also seeing how much material you actually have is interesting to see. You have a lot of videos that are 2 minutes long at the longest.
Most of them.
And it's cool to see that when you do that, you get a lot of reaction on them. It allows you to put out a lot more material.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing with shorter music videos and shorter songs adds more replay value.
Yeah, and it definitely has created something that it's easy to catch on and want to learn more and
definitely.
follow
and they
along.
just want more, and then that's the whole strategy.
Do you feel like the music scene that we're in right now and the way that people are. It's easy for somebody to release something on SoundCloud, and it's there's a lot easier ways to get onto iTunes, Spotify, and all that.
Yeah, it's not hard to upload anything to SoundCloud, but I think right now, the last couple of years, SoundCloud was really important, but now I'm starting to see like a shift in like streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube now even counts as streams. So it's like my stuff was popping on SoundCloud, but it got real popping on YouTube before anything, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I just been dropping stuff on YouTube and all the streaming platforms.
Do you feel like because people have more access and know how to do all those things that it makes it a little more difficult for you to release music and hold people's attention?
Definitely not. I never felt that problem.
So now you have a lot of material anyway, so you can fill that space if you ever had that happen.
A lot of material.
Is it a shift for you moving in from going and releasing a lot of singles and doing these things that kind of like get your name out there to shifting into making Total Xanarchy?
No, not at all. Not at all. It wasn't hard at all. Like the album, we just like sat up in there. The album came about like we have the studio like 3 days a week, so I'll just go in there and make like 3 songs and just really work on that, like those songs, and then I'll go in like in a couple days later and just really like focus on, and that's just how it came about.
A completely different topic, just because like it's obvious that you have tattoos directly on your face, so the tattoos are gonna come up in conversation right now.
Yeah, of course.
First and foremost, I need advice, because every tattoo you have is vibrant in color.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you keep the color?
You mean all the black?
Yes, you got the black. You have like even some of like the reds and stuff you got in there, like on your face. Yeah.
That's actually the only tattoo that has color. Other than that,
that's it.
This says low, candy on my face, the 3 Z's. A lot of my tattoos don't really have meaning, besides for my mom's name and the anxiety and the paranoia that I have right here.
Yes, and your colors are so vibrant. Like the black is so popping.
The black is so vibrant, right?
So what is your advice for somebody who needs to take care of their tattoos like that? Because I have a couple right here that are fading, and I've only had them for like 2 years.
Really? I don't know why mine haven't faded that bad. I think if you go like to the beach or something, or if you like swim a lot, it like fades them, but I don't do that. I don't go to the beach.
Yeah, like I don't take the time to do that. I also saw you have a no-face tattoo.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I think I saw in an interview somewhere that was your first one.
Yeah, this is one of the first ones, yeah.
Yo, so I am a huge anime nerd.
Yeah, Studio Gilby.
And I caught the interview where you talked about it and butchered the name of the production company and the director.
Every time. I have a really bad speech impediment, so I probably butchered a lot of things.
All right, so first lesson, it's Hayao Miyazaki. And it's Ghibli Films. Yeah.
All right. I'll probably still mess it up. So. Good. You good?
All right, well, we going to clear this thing out, get some photos taken. Well, you got any last things you want to give to them that they need to know about?
I just appreciate you guys for repping Xanarchy so hard, and I just can't wait to show you guys the future of my music. One more time, y'all, make some noise for Lil Xan. All right, so we'll get these chairs cleared out real quick.